Hello, beautiful souls. So we have a message from Spirit. You know, sometimes we have to make room for new things in our lives by getting rid of old things. And it's just like you can't pour from an empty cup, you know. And sometimes you have to take meaningful action to get rid of these things. And it's not always as easy to make a decision, but Spirit wants you to know that sometimes what's meant for you isn't what is meant for everybody else. And sometimes everybody else has a really easy way of doing things, and it should essentially logically be the easiest for us too. But just because something is the best path forward for somebody else and for the majority of the people doesn't mean that it's for you. And so the message today is that, one moment here. Hendrix, come on. Come on. Let's go. Sorry, I don't know why my daughter just started talking. I saw her like scratch away. Okay. But you can't hide from things sometimes. You can't hide the truth that sometimes things don't resonate. And even if someone else can play the piano and play the keys that are written down, and you play those same exact keys, doesn't mean that those same exact keys are for you. And Spirit wants you to look around and see what resonates with you, and that's where you're going to be able to find your transformation and your relationship with your rebirth. When you find a sense of belonging and within yourself, you're able to establish a balance that's going to be interwoven into your destiny. And Spirit really wants you to remember that every act that you take is going to be a chance to create a different future for yourself. And so when Spirit is asking you to really evaluate what is going to be good for you and what is not good for you. So, you know, if you, Spirit sees that you've been taking action and that you're wanting positive outcomes, but something is not aligned. And so Spirit really wants you to evaluate what does and does not belong in your, you know, your life. And so there might be a change. I mean, you might be moving or a change of job. Or perhaps there's been some fear over a loss, which has kept you stuck. But, you know, Spirit really wants you to know that your way towards success is not the same way that everyone else is going. And it's going to be a totally different route than others are going to even think is possible too. So you're going to have a lot of naysayers. And even after sudden bad news, there's going to be some sudden bad news, or your decision isn't going to change, okay? You're still going to have a hard time making the decision. It's still going to be hard for you to let go of the past and let go of what is dead to you and what isn't good for you, because you've been holding on to it so tightly. And you really need to reevaluate if this is making you sick, it's potential evil, or why you can't let go of this. But if you really have a hard time letting go, Spirit wants you to reach out to Spirit and ask for assistance, and they will send in the angels to help you navigate, you know, so you can see through the trees. And I think it's important because when we combine intent and action, we see a way better positive outcomes as far as, our lives go. And so when we know that we're holding ourselves back, and we know that, that's intent, that's energy. And so Spirit really wants you to reevaluate why you're holding on to something, why you're not able to step into the power that they have given you, these magical abilities that really are, something special. And Spirit wants to remind you that you have the ability to really enchant a lot of people. And there's something special about you, that maybe you're multifaceted, you have a lot of things going on for you, or you're capable of doing a lot of different things. But somehow you've been keeping yourself stuck, and you've been keeping yourself small, and you haven't been seeing yourself for who you truly are. And, there's going to be a time when there's actually transformation and metamorphosis going on right now. Look, we have 2 shedding skins, okay? So you need to shed away what's no longer for you. You need to go through the death and the rebirth and take, inspired action, but you need to know what the intention is with that action. Because if you just go to day with these actions and you do the same old thing, but it's not healthy for you, okay? It's just like when they said, when you put a glass of water here and a glass of water here, and you put hate in one and love in the other, okay, it's intention. If you know what you're eating is bad for you, it makes it worse for you, okay? It really does. And so God wants you to deep dive into your own emotions and really cut away anything that is just kind of hanging out there. It seems like you have been trying to pursue things based on what other people have told you would be the best way, or what society has told you is the best way, or where everyone else is going, or what everyone else is doing, or what everyone else is reaching for. That is what you're doing too. But Spirit wants to assure you that you look around, take a chance to really transform by trying to pursue what is right for you, okay? You are the sunshine in sorry, I was getting a message. The sun is next to a mice and a snake. So I think you're really afraid of making these changes. I think that you foresee it being darker for you, and you having to go through some sort of irrevocable loss or great difficulty if you make these changes. But Spirit wants to assure you that you will find belonging and love, and you will find deep purpose and satisfying your purpose here, following what's right for you. You're gonna find it's actually better. It ends up better. And Spirit wants you to kind of sit in silence for a while and really figure out, maybe write some things down. Sometimes we hold on to things just because we've held on to them for so long, right? I think about like this chest of things I kept when I was like in high school, and I didn't open it for like 15 years. And then when I opened it, I was like, why did I keep this? But I didn't want to get rid of it because I had kept it for so long. Like, it meant something to my past self, but we need to realize that we're not the past selves anymore. We're not the same people we are. So holding on to something just to hold on to it, my mom she would keep everything, right? Like our clothes from when we were kids, so that when I had kids, she would give me all of their clothes and all of their old toys, and I can't do that. I have to get rid of things because, things hold on to energy. And by holding on to things that aren't meant for us, we're going to make ourselves ill, we're going to hold ourselves back, we're not going to be able to reach our fullest potential. And so Spirit really wants you to shed what's not right for you. And I think in your soul, deep down in your soul, that there is something that is preventing you from really reaching happiness. And you need to trust in Spirit into guiding you what to cut out, because Spirit will shine light exactly where they need to. And do not be in denial. Okay, do not be in denial. You need to follow what your heart is guiding to tell you, and trying to tell you. It's a spiritual journey. There's a bunch of trees, like literally trees and snakes. We got trees, lots of green earth. This might have to do with finances and your abundance, and perhaps it's about changing a job. And I've kind of had this feeling that you've been holding on to this job because it's comfortable and you've been doing it for so long, and you put so much energy and work into something, and you just like, okay, well, for this long I thought I was going to be the district manager, and that they promised it to me and they never gave it to me, but I just can't leave yet because they've been promising it to me for 2 years. They've got to give it to me. And even though if you would leave, you could easily get a district manager job at another, so sometimes it's just our fear, but it really takes courage to be able to evaluate yourself. So God is encouraging you to reach for your dreams, because dreams do become reality when you combine purpose and intent, and to shed what's not right for you and create room for the next harvest. Okay. Well, I hope that message resonated with somebody. I really appreciate everyone that's been here tuning in and tuning into my beautifulness to listen to this message, so it reaches the right people. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.